The COVID inquiry has been a very spectacular and vocal affair, and has exposed a vocal gutter which makes Mr. Nixon's language in Watergate look quite mild. The Nicola Sturgeon's reference to Boris as a clown. She didn't actually call him a clown. She added another word to that to intensify the clownish behaviour. And Labour MSPs also excoriated in vigorous language. I was going to say vigorous Anglo-Saxon language, but a lot of the language is not Anglo-Saxon in origin. And the word that Nicola Sturgeon added to the clowning instinct is not Anglo-Saxon. It's actually High Dutch, and doesn't appear in England until about the 16th century, 15th century, 16th century, and it's extraordinary, the indelicate language which is on display and which has been put out by the people who are governing our country, whether they're in Scotland, whether they are in London, whether they are in Wales. The sweary language, together with the breaches of the rules which were being set up by these ministers, these people who are controlling our lives, it's as if there's one rule for them and another rule for everybody else, and that isn't appropriate. The closure of schools, the outlawing of beaches, the when you can exercise, when you cannot exercise, all this control, and yet people cannot control themselves in their own language. How can we trust people to control us in such a draconian and divisive and dramatic fashion when they can't actually control the language that they use? I think we start by self-control, and then it moves out. And the people in power have demonstrably very little self-control, from Nicola Sturgeon down to Boris Johnson, slobbing around in the gutter. And they're accused of breaking the laws that they have instituted. Well, of course they did. Of course they have. Because they don't know how to behave.